President Trump has been on a seemingly endless Twitter tirade since the start of the new year. And here's one of his brain farts. I will be announcing the most dishonest and corrupt media awards of the year on Monday at 5 o'clock. Subjects will cover dishonesty and bad reporting in various categories from the fake news media. Stay tuned. Okay, so I have a lot to say about this one. First of all, you're the president of the United States of America. In the United States of America, we have this thing called the Constitution and the First Amendment. One of the protected rights is a free press. When you yield your authority, wield? I don't know what the right word is. When you take your authority, that's a cop-out, but nonetheless I proceed, and you decide to malign the media in a way where it's official in nature. Like, oh, we're going to have a dishonest and corrupt media award. So we're going to do like a state-sanctioned, these are the shitty media outlets thing. I don't think you can do that. You know, I'm not saying that Trump can never argue against the media and say, hey, that story's not right, and make his case. Of course he could do that. Any president can do that. Especially if the media is totally wrong on something and they want to correct the record. No, you're wrong, and here's why. You're allowed to do that. But for you, as president of the United States, to come up with this thing where you're like, no, this is like an award, and it's going to be, I'm the president, this is like an official thing here, dishonest and corrupt media awards. Well, that seems like it's fundamentally against a free press. Because you, the president, as the head of the executive branch, as the head of the government, doing this is like sanctioning media. You can't do that because we're supposed to have a free and independent press. So in other words, you have no fucking sway over the media. At least in theory, you're not supposed to have any sway over the media. That's the way the U.S. is supposed to work. Free and open press means free and open press. Even if they expose the dirt of all dirt on you, you can't take official government action against them because that would be unconstitutional. So this is bordering on unconstitutional, you know, and there's already, people might literally sue over this because there was cases of, you know, people who got blocked by Trump on Twitter, and they were like, no, you don't understand, you can't do that. You're the president of the United States of America now. And when you tweet stuff, oftentimes it's directly related to policy. Like, for example, the transgender ban. He announced it on Twitter. He's like, I'm going to ban, transgender people from the military. Now, thankfully, I was overturned by the courts, but he announced that on Twitter. So he makes fucking policy announcements on Twitter. But you're blocking people who are fellow Americans who are trying to get the to-the-minute update on policy and stuff. So you're not allowed to do that. You're not a private citizen. You're the president of the United States. You're the ultimate public figure. For you to just block people, say, you can't see what I'm going to say, you can't do that. So there's court cases over that. So president blocked me, he can't block me. So I think that those people are right to sue, and I think that they're right that the president should be. I'm a YouTube host. I've blocked nobody on Twitter ever. Ever. Because I realize I'm a public figure. So if people want to read what I'm saying, okay, if you're annoying the fuck out of me and you're barking nonsense at me all day, I'll mute you. But I'm not going to block you from reading my feed because I'm a public figure and you should be able to read my feed even if you annoy the fuck out of me. And I'm a fucking YouTube host. There's just a president of the United States. I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you. You're not a regular private citizen. If Trump was a regular private citizen and he wanted to do the dishonest and corrupt media wars, by all means, you're president of the United States. There are implications to that. Free press implications to that. So first of all, where the fuck are all the free speech warriors here? Here's an actual threat to free speech and a free press. And I hear fucking crickets. Where are you? You're nowhere to be found. Imagine, and I hate to make this point because I think it's more often than not a hacky point when you bring up, like, what if Obama did it? But in this instance, I'm going to make the point because I feel like it's powerful and it makes sense. What if Obama did that? What if he tweeted, I'm going to be giving out the most dishonest and corrupt media awards of the year? Every Fox News host would have an aneurysm on air. And they'd say, it's an anti-First Amendment, anti-free press presidency. The worst ever on free speech and the free press. Oh my God. And they'd be right if they said that. Because that's fucking preposterous. a president wielding his power to sanction news outlets that are reporting on stories that he doesn't like. And that's the other angle of this is everybody knows that that's what Trump is going to do. It's not like Donald Trump. What, is Donald Trump going to have independent, objective fact checkers come in and say, Mr. President, I know you were calling that story fake news, but it's not fake news. That one's been verified for reasons X, Y, and Z. No, he's going to go, whatever I don't like is fake news. Whatever I don't like is fake news. So I do think this is, and there's so much shit from Trump that it's true that, you know, we get outrage fatigue where it's like now people, this doesn't even crack the top 10 in the past week of shit that's been crazy that he's done. So it's just, you know, a blip in the radar and we all move on. But again, if Obama said this, it would be I would have to come out here and be like, what are you doing? You're not allowed to do that, President Obama. But with Trump, it's like everybody's like, it's trumping Trump. No, this is not okay. This is not okay. So that's the first half of my rant. The second half of my rant is I fucking despise the media with every fiber of my being. Because not for nothing. So look, even if they did a good job, Trump would still do this dishonest fake news media awards because he's a hack and it's everything that's against me is fake news. I get that. Trump's a hack and I get it. But it also is true that the media does do a lot of fake news. And the problem is the perception of the public towards the press and Trump. It's in the same ballpark. I saw a poll recently. I think it's like 51 or 52% of the American people trust the press over Trump. And Joe Scarborough was like bragging about that. Like, look, Mr. President, a majority support the press over you. But it's like, dude, those are abysmal numbers. It should be 85% of the American people trust the press over Trump. It should be a ridiculously high percentage. But guess what? You've ruined your own goddamn credibility because you do suck at your job. How many fucking stories have come out, like in regards to the Russia thing, where it was just proven blatantly false? Just totally not true. Sorry. You know, Don Jr. got from WikiLeaks the DNC emails before they were released. This proves collusion with Russia, and this is the bombshell we've all... sorry, nope, we fucked that up. The dates were wrong. Oh, come on, man. Come on. And this happens time and time and time and time again. You know, the media will always report the stories that coincides with its own narrative. So, for example, during the primary with Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, they largely ignored the DNC leaks. They largely ignored them. And in fact, some outlets did a smear campaign against them where they said, nope, some of these are fake, so we're going to dismiss them all and not talk about any. What? No. That's not true at all. The leaks were real, 100% real. But they bent over backwards and said, fake news. And they used to call Bernie supporters conspiracy theorists when they said, hey, we think the DNC is favoring Hillary Clinton. So the same outlets that spread bullshit narratives, like, no, this is fair and this is equal and this is, you know, they're treating every candidate fairly. That same outlet now gets to clutch their pearls when Trump is like, I'm going to do the fake news war. Oh, sir, how dare you? We've done a wonderful job. Look at the reporting on the Iraq war. The media across the board used the phrase enhanced interrogation as opposed to torture. Why? The Bush administration said, we'd like you to use enhanced interrogation and not torture. MSNBC fired Phil Donahue for being against the war. MSNBC fired Ed Schultz for being against TPP. MSNBC fired Cenk Uygur because he was too tough on the Democrats, they said. So you have these outlets that are hacky outlets that are doing the establishment narrative, but now whenever Trump says anything against the media, they get to go, oh, good sir, how dare you? We're so great at our job. We're so wonderful. We never mess anything up. And when we do, we correct it right away. So I can't believe you're so impolite with your fake news media awards. And that's what the other angle of this that annoys me. Yes, Trump annoys the fuck out of me because you can't do that. You're president. You can't fucking do some state-sanctioned media bad thing. That's against the Constitution. At the very least, against the spirit of the Constitution, if not the letter of the law. But the media is really shitty. And whenever Trump goes after the media, they circle the wagons and pretend like, no, we're not shitty. But you are shitty. You're really, really bad. You're really bad. A CNN with their fucking nonstop Don Lemon speculating about the missing Malaysian airplane going into a black hole. They abuse breaking news like nobody's business. They said breaking news, the Titanic sank 102 years ago today one time. Like, that's not breaking news. Why are you so bad at your job? They don't talk about serious issues like, half the country making $30,000 a year or less. They don't give you up-to-date information on our 7 goddamn wars that are going on right now. It's just nonsense. Neutrality bias, establishment bias, propaganda for the Republicans on Fox News, propaganda for the Democrats on MSNBC. Non-stop shittiness. But now they get to go, oh, we're victims. We're victims. You're not victims. You're really, really bad at your job. And you should be called out for that. The president should not do it in a state-sanctioned way, and he's not of the proper character and fiber to make these assessments because he's such a hack that he's going to say anything that's against me is fake. But yes, you should be called out at every turn because you are really bad at your job. So I believe I'm clear about this. Trump is 100% wrong for doing something like this, but the media is 100% wrong for... Basically, the media's argument is because we're under attack by the president, therefore we are right by definition. That's nowhere near true. Because you're under attack by the president, everybody should defend you by definition as an institution. But we should also critique the hell out of your substance because your substance, frankly, sucks.